Everybody, my name is MsRheyRhey and welcome back to Discovering Fandoms. So today I will be talking about Voltron Legendary Defenders because it's one of those weird shows where it's a relatively new fandom that goes back generations because very many things. Voltron is very much actually a remake of I don't want to make you guys feel old, but decades old show. So before I start off telling you about the characters and how I feel about the fandom, I will tell you a little about its history. Let's call it a short prologue. Voltron first aired in September of 1984 and it was simply just called Voltron, and it was adapted from a Japanese anime called Beast King Go Lion. Its first season actually went really well, and so with their success they made a second season, and what they did is they kind of rebooted the second season a bit and they adapted that one from another Japanese anime series called Armored Feet Deruger the 15th, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that right, actually. Scratch that. And that season was a big success too, though with continuity errors and everything, it was a little weird. But overall, the series was a really good success. But with all the continuity errors between the first and the second season, they wanted to kind of fit that into the timeline and get their audience to be not so confused. So in 1986, they made a TV movie called Voltron Fleet of Doom, and unfortunately that movie was canceled along with the series. So instead of it being like a transition to explain all the continuity errors, it turned into kind of just an epilogue, to where that was the only time in the entire Voltron universe that there were two Voltrons fighting together in the same series, because apparently there were two different Voltron teams or from different universes or something. I didn't watch the movie because I wasn't born yet, but I guess overall it was okay. It answered the questions that people were asking, I guess, and it's on DVD apparently. Somewhere they made it into a DVD for the series collection, I guess in 2001 or something. I'm not looking for it. In the September of 1998, there was an official reboot that was made for the series, and it was called Voltron: The Third Dimension, and it was meant to take place 5 years after the end of the original. And I looked this up because I was 6. Okay, September 1998. I was 6 when this came out, so I probably would have been watching it on TV. And so I looked up this series, and oh my god, thank God that it ended in February of 2002, because it was CGI madness at the time. Voltron got a complete makeover into CGI, and it didn't look good. And fun fact, because I watched the first episode, not even the first 5 minutes, Fry from Futurama is actually Pidge from Voltron: The Third Dimension. And so I thought that was really, really weird and very fitting, actually, because it was so weird. But anyway, that happened, that we will never talk about again. After Voltron: The Third Dimension, they made another reboot in June of 2011. Or not so much a reboot, they tried to make a sequel to the original series. Once again, well, I guess that's a reboot. And they called it Voltron Force. And this ended up to be ongoing for only 10 months, not even a full year, because it was just plain bad. Because of all of that, we finally come into the Voltron that we are going to be talking about, and it is not so much a reboot as an entire remake of the Voltron universe, and it is called Voltron Legendary Defenders. And already it is an absolute fan favorite. I mean, I know you can, well, I mean, for those who can watch it, because it is only available on Netflix, because of it's made by DreamWorks and it's funded by Netflix, because fans of Voltron were like, we need a good Voltron series. So yeah, that's pretty much a short prologue of the Voltron, or the making of Voltron, like, history. So next we go on to the main characters of the Voltron Legendary Defenders. And first and foremost, this is not in like order of appearance or anything. First off, we have Princess Allura. She is the crown princess of Atlia on the planet Horus. She is in charge of the whole operation of Voltron. She is like spiritually linked with the spirits of Voltron or something. Kind of. I haven't seen the first episode in a while, so because she is connected with the spirit of Voltron, so she is in charge of granting lions their pilots, or paladins as she calls it. The best way I can describe it with no spoilers is she is Ocarina of Time's Princess Zelda. Next we have Corrin. He is the royal advisor to the crown. He is shown along with Princess Allura in the series. He acts as her protector because it's kind of just them at this point. And he is also the navigator of the Castle of Lions, which is this giant ship that flies through space and houses all of the lions when they're not in use. So, Castle of the Lions. I don't know how to describe him and not give him away, but he's a character. Shiro is paladin of the Black Lion and also the head, literally, of Voltron. He is the leader of all of the paladins, and before he was the head of Voltron, he was a prisoner in the evil Galra's Empire. Galra Empire is the bad guys of the show. They're trying to take over the universe. Isn't that nice? And in being a prisoner of this evil empire, he was given an alien prosthetic right arm that acts as a weapon when he is in battle. Lance is the paladin of the Blue Lion and also the right leg of Voltron. He was training to be a fighter pilot on Earth in a school called the Galaxy Garrison, and I'm pretty sure that's this universe's like training academy in like the Galaxy Alliance thing that the other universes had, kind of like without Voltron there was this like entire organization that defended the galaxy, and I think that's what they're trying to show in a small way of what that is in this universe. He's a very go-to character, and he actually considers himself a rival to this next character that I'm going to be talking about, which is Keith. Keith is the paladin of the Red Lion and the right arm of Voltron. He was also training at the Galaxy Garrison to be a fighter pilot until he dropped out because of mysterious reasons that is in the first episode, so I can't tell you why. He is kind of considered the lone wolf character of the group, and also with the whole rivalry thing with Lance, I'm not sure if he even knew about it in the beginning, but it's definitely there by the end. The next character up is the lovely Hunk. Hunk is the paladin of the Yellow Lion and the left leg of Voltron. He was an engineer in the Galaxy Garrison in Lance's fighter pilot team in training. So he and Lance were both on Earth and, friends before all of this happened. I guess that's how he got literally carried into all of this. Next up is Pidge. Pidge is the paladin of the Green Lion and the left arm of Voltron. He is considered the technical genius of the entire group. He was part of Lance's team as well. The three of them were the team in the garrisons, and I don't know his role in all of that. Communications officer. He was the communications officer in their training team. And then there's... Well, I was gonna do the bad guys, but then it's kind of like there is the overall evil empire. There is the Emperor Zarkon, not Zarkok, King all four. There is the Witch Hagar, and then there is Commander Sendok, who is underneath the king. The evil empire is disorganized to all heck. I don't know what's going on with them at all, but those are, I guess, the main, the ones I described more in detail are the main characters, but those are overall the main characters of this show. And all in all, I do love this show so much. I was only able to get up to like episode 7 in binging before I got distracted with life, so that wasn't good. But I loved it. The animation is absolutely amazing. The CGI that goes into it along with the animation is pretty awesome. Obviously because they have an awesome budget, because it's fucking Netflix and DreamWorks working together. The characters in all of them act so naturally with each other, and they have like realistic expressions and emotions towards things, like how we would react with them. It's a really great nod to the original, and it's just a creative story in its own right. If for like the new people who didn't know that Voltron started in the 1980s, if I had to make a comparison in order to get all of you to like it, I would say it's it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, like that universe, but in space. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say on Voltron Legendary Defenders. It's an awesome show which everyone should check out, and if any of you have any opinions of your own on this series, I would love to hear about them. We can have a conversation. If you liked my format for this one, because it was a lot more organized in me having my own little outline script to talk about, which was great. If you like this format, let me know. If you have any other suggestions of fandoms for me to check out and recommend to you guys, please let me know that as well. More stuff will be coming out soon. I have some music coming up for you guys. Wink, wink, hint, hint, say no more. So, actually, funny thing about that music, because, I brought it up and who else is talking? For the music video that will be coming up, I actually have a Patreon now because I'm poor and say no more. And I will be sharing the audio file with my patrons, like, I'm gonna say a day before I put up the video. So if you want to check that out, you absolutely can. I have links in the description all the time for everything that I am into. If you want to check out anything else I've done, I play video games. I share artwork and what's it called? Fan fiction of different fandoms, and I call that fan service, and you could check that out as well. I have this series which I'm trying to work on called Headcanons, that I take mine or your headcanons for certain fandoms, and I talk about them. I try to rationalize them and put logic towards them, because that's what normal people should do, right? Overanalyze fictional worlds. That's a good hobby to have. It's not obsessive at all. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing right now, besides, real life behind the scenes. You can't see behind the scenes. You're not allowed to. No behind the scenes for you. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I very, very much appreciate it. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a wonderful life.